Everyday English Listening.
Topic 1. Boys Camp.
So we're talking about camp today. Did you ever go to camp when you were a kid?
I did. I usually went to Cub Camp, like Boy Scouts.
Okay. Was it during the summer?
Yeah, it'd always be in the summer.
And was it for a week or a month or?
I can't recall. It probably was about a week.
About a week? What'd you do at Cub Camp?
Oh, we do different things. One thing I remember is archery.
Archery.
Yeah, like bows and arrows. So we would have a target, and we would practice trying to hit the target, and I was really bad at it. I remember always, it's quite difficult, and I would hurt my arm with the bow. But then after we were trying to get the target, I remember we did distance as well, and I was actually pretty good at that. I figured out how to get a long shot away, and I think I might be lying, but I think I maybe got the longest shot than anyone else.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. Okay, besides archery, were there other games you played or sports you did?
Yeah, well, we would learn how to canoe, and we'd swim, and we'd go on hikes. We'd learn how to navigate through the forest with a compass.
Okay.
Things like that.
Did you learn how to start fire without matches?
We did, yeah. We would use 2 sticks, rub them together, start a fire.
Wow.
Yeah.
What would you guys do at night? Would you play games or have campfires?
Yeah, we'd always have a campfire at night. We'd sing some songs like Kumbaya, and put on some skits and tell ghost stories. But my favorite thing to do at the campfire was roast marshmallows.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah, I'd spend hours trying to find the perfect stick to carve and roast marshmallows on. And sometimes we'd even make the chocolate s'mores with the marshmallows.
Oh, yummy. So that food was good. How was the other food?
I don't have any memories of it being good, so I don't think it was very good. We would all eat together in a mess hall, much like yourself, and actually I remember getting really sick one time, and my parents had to come and pick me up, and I think I got a bit of food poisoning.
Oh, wow. From the food in the Cub Scout camp?
Yeah,
wow. Right. Okay. Final question. So you were away from your family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that hard or easy?
Oh, it was easy. I remember feeling a little freer and more independent, away from my parents. Less rules, less regulations.
You weren't homesick at all?
No, I never did get homesick. Even when my parents came to pick me up that time when I was sick, I really didn't want to go home.
Oh, too bad you got food poisoning.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Warren.
Topic 2. Girls Camp.
Lindsay, we're both teachers, and sometimes our students go off to camp over the summer break. Did you ever go to camp when you were younger?
I did go to camp. The camp I went to was called Pilgrim Pines.
Oh, what was that like?
It was great. It was 1 week away from my family, and each person got to take care of an animal. Some people took care of horses, some people took care of sheep. But I got the lucky task of taking care of Xanadu the llama.
What was that like?
Oh, it was awesome. When I was a kid, my favorite animal was a llama. So that's why we looked into this camp to begin with. And I had to brush it, and I had to feed the llama. And it was such a sweet llama that I really fell in love with it. And every day I'd wake up, feed the llama, and brush it. And then in the afternoon, I'd also come and visit the llama. Xanadu was his name. But a couple of times he got mad. I can't remember why actually he was upset. But when llamas are mad, do you know what they do?
I don't know.
They actually spit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you have to be, and then they get if they spit at you, that means they're really upset, and they can be dangerous. I mean, I was only 10 at the time, so the llama was a lot bigger than me. And one time it spit at me, and the spit got stuck in my hair, and it was this really thick, gross, mucousy spit. And that really struck an image in my mind. I can't ever kind of forget that llama spitting at me. And then after, I think, for a day, I was afraid of the llama. And then my camp counselor, who was in charge of all the children, had a talk with me and told me how, sometimes llamas get mad just like people get mad, and I need to forgive the llama. And I did. And then the next day I went and fed the llama and brushed the llama, and everything was back to normal. But it was a really good experience to learn how to take care of a pet. And a good experience to be away from my family for the first time.
So I guess there were other kids at the camp too. Did you guys all eat together?
Yeah, we had a mess hall, they called it, which is basically cafeteria. The food was disgusting. I remember losing a lot of weight when I came home, and my mom would send me packages of chocolate and cookies, and I would eat it all. But yes, we all ate together, this gross cafeteria slob food, like Sloppy Joe for lunch, or just imagine turkey and gravy for dinner, but the turkey was kind of a blue color or something. Everything was just a little bit gross. And at one time we had a food fight, and that was absolutely amazing. This one kid got upset. The other kid threw some mashed potatoes, and the next thing you know, turkey's flying, mashed potatoes flying, everyone's getting involved, and that was really fun.
Topic 3. Folk hero.
Hi Jake, how are you today?
Good. How are you, Shirley?
Not too bad, thanks. I thought we might talk about folk heroes today.
Sure.
I don't really know much about American folk heroes. Are there any that you have a favorite, or? Well,
actually, my hometown in the United States happens to be known as one of the hometowns for Paul Bunyan.
I think I've heard of that name, but I don't know anything about him.
Paul Bunyan was a lumberjack. He would cut down trees, and he was supposedly a very giant man. He was huge. And I don't know if he actually ever lived in sometime in the past, but maybe he was just a very large man, but somehow the stories have been passed down to say that he was as large as a house or as large as a skyscraper, or it completely depends on who you ask.
Wow. So, not sure whether he's a mythical character or a real character?
No one really knows for sure.
What did he do?
Well, some people say that he took his axe and he dragged it behind his back across the United States, and he made the Mississippi River.
So it's a kind of story to explain why something exists.
That's part of it. And also, he had a pet, too. His pet is very famous.
And what kind of pet?
His pet was an ox, but it wasn't just an ordinary ox. It was a blue ox, and it was also oversized to fit with his size.
What did his pet do?
Well, his pet, I think, would just carry lumber for him or something.
So, about when did this story start? I mean, when did Paul Bunyan become famous, or when did people know about that story?
Well, I'm not exactly sure, but like your country, the United States is a very young country and has a very young history since the European settlers came there. So I think it's maybe from a couple hundred years ago, maybe at the most.
Okay.
Topic 4. Touchy-feely.
You've lived in 3 different parts of the world, so is there any difference between each part in terms of physical contact?
Yeah, I have lived in Hong Kong, Guam, and the U.S. Hong Kong is in Asia, Guam is in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and the U.S. is American culture. So in Hong Kong, I think most people would not touch each other, just give each other a little bow. I find that a bow is very common in Asia. If you're very good friends, you wouldn't really hug. Hugging, I think, is a very American thing to do. I think you would just touch each other on the shoulder or give each other a side embrace, a mini hug. In Guam, you would definitely greet your friends and family with a kiss on the cheek. A handshake is much too formal for island culture because island culture is so relaxed and laid back. You would only do a handshake with business partners or in a really formal setting. But usually a kiss on the cheek is what you receive and give when you see your family and friends. In the U.S., hugging is most common, I think, for friends and family. But if you're not friends and family, a handshake would probably be the most common.
Is the handshakes always the same, or is there different styles of handshake?
From what I've observed, Guam has American culture, so Guam handshakes and U.S. handshakes are the same. I think in Hong Kong, it's got a British background, so that's also very similar. I don't see any difference with the handshake.
So what about young people? Is there a different way they interact physically with each other?
Yes, definitely. In Guam, I always see people do a fist bump for close buddies of theirs. Girls would definitely hug and give each other a kiss. In Hong Kong, I don't see the fist bump often. I don't think I've ever seen it at all, actually. But for close friends, I think a side embrace or a semi-embrace would happen, but mostly just some form of touch or acknowledgement of the other person. I think it's also very common for people of the same sex to hold hands in Asia and just be friends. Woman and woman hold each other's hands if they are very, very, very good friends. And it's apparently very normal. I don't know about a guy holding another guy's hand, but if a woman and a woman hold each other's hands, it does not signal that they are together as a couple. It might just signal that they are very, very good friends or sisters.
In Australia, that would be very strange.
Yes, it would, wouldn't it? Even in America and Guam.
Topic 5. Displays of affection.
So, Nick, let's talk about touching and holding hands and physical touch with your significant other. Do you and your partner hold hands when you go out in the street?
We hold hands all the time. Initially, when we first went out, holding hands was the first thing we did. They've progressively moved on from there to kissing, but holding hands was certainly the first thing we did in our relationship.
Do you remember when you first tried to hold her hand, or did she try to hold your hand first?
I made the first move. We were sitting on the couch watching a movie, and I was getting a bit nervous, and I couldn't quite concentrate on the movie. So I moved my hand over to hers, and she reciprocated and moved on from there. So.
You know, that's funny that you bring that up, because one of the most common moves that is made fun of in movies as well is when the guy takes a big yawn, a fake yawn, and he opens his arms wide and places it around the girl's shoulder and thus embraces her. But he had to do it because he yawned.
In my experience, like my first my first hug was like that as well. So it was just a bit of an excuse. I was reaching for something, and then suddenly my hand went around, and she didn't mind. So
That's
it was a
very
good sign.
good. And what about kissing? Do you kiss a lot in public, in the streets?
Rarely in public, because we find it makes other people uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's true. I find that when I see couples kissing or making out in public, I usually think to myself, why don't you get a room?
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to see that. You just want to be having a conversation with them, or you don't want them to be constantly distracted.
Topic 6. The prank.
So, Shirley, we were talking about childhood memories. And you're from Scotland. There's anything from your childhood that you can tell us?
I know I've got a really funny story, actually. Maybe I was about 10 years old or something. And we used to have this little kind of shack in the countryside that we were dragged to every weekend, and away from civilization, and no running water, no electricity. So we kids had to make our own fun. I've got my brothers, myself, and a couple of cousins. We would always go there at weekends or school holidays or something. And one of the highlight of our weekends was to go to the Sunday school, the Sunday morning church service. And one of the reasons this was attractive to the kids was because they bribed us to go there by giving us sweets when we got there. So it was great. So we always went anyway. It was a church service for about an hour and singing hymns and stuff like that. Anyway, this one Sunday we arrived early, about half an hour early. There was nobody there. The church wasn't open yet. So it was, as most people know, it rains a lot in Scotland. So on that rainy day, we all were wearing our cagoules, which is a kind of a rain jacket with a big pocket in the front. And while we were waiting for everybody else to arrive, we started just kind of playing around in the trees. There was a little river nearby. And it was at the time of year when the tadpoles were turning into baby frogs. So we got this crazy idea to collect all these. I'm talking hundreds of frogs were around. So we all got a big handful of baby frogs, put them in this big pocket of our cagoule, went off into church. So there we are. We're kind of in the middle of the crowd. We weren't at the front or the back, kind of in the middle. And everybody's standing up singing the hymns and really getting into, the church singing and stuff like that. And then we decided that we would get the frogs out. So each of us kids one at a time, kind of crouched down as if we were tying our shoelace and let all these frogs out of our pockets. So these tiny little frogs started jumping all over the church. And there's all these ladies in their Sunday best and started squealing and screaming, and the minister didn't know what was going on, and he's trying to keep everybody calm, and we're just singing along with the hymn, we were really innocent, and they had no idea, because they didn't see us do it, so they had no idea what had happened. And we got away with it. We didn't get told off because we didn't get caught. And after the church service, we had such a laugh after the church service. And that's one of my greatest childhood memories, getting up to mischief with my brothers.
Topic 7. Farm life.
Monica, you mentioned a farm homestay in New Zealand. Have you ever actually lived on a farm?
I haven't lived on a farm as such, but I've visited family friends who have lived on farms.
Oh, did you like it?
Yeah, I remember loving visiting my family friends on farms. Yeah, especially riding horses. I loved riding horses when I was young.
So are you good? Are you an equestrian professional?
I wouldn't say that. I do remember one time, my mother always seems to tell people this story about when I was young, and we were at her friend's farm. I was on a horse, and the horse took off, and I was only about, I think, 10 at the time, and I was hanging off the side of this horse, and my mother was really worried for me.
Yeah.
And then when the horse finally stopped, she, she came running up and asked me if I was okay and things. And apparently I said to her, "Oh, it's okay. I wanted it to go fast."
That's cute. You're lucky you didn't get hurt, though.
Yeah, well, I guess I just didn't sense the danger.
Actually, I kind of grew up on a farm. My grandfather had a ranch growing up, so I spent every summer on his ranch. So I have quite the, I don't know, I guess I have a lot of experience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I remember when I was young, I thought the life on a farm was just the best. I mean, I had it so good, and I loved everything about living on a farm, and I thought when I was going to get older, I would want to be on a farm, but now that I'm older, I couldn't imagine doing it ever again.
Oh, what can't you imagine doing?
I don't know. I guess I just couldn't imagine all that work. And I think I'm just so addicted to city life or suburban life, and living in a house and just, doing work on computers and things like that. I couldn't go back to that lifestyle. But when I was young, I have to admit, I enjoyed it a lot. So how about you? Could you see yourself moving and living on a farm?
Well, yeah, I think my thoughts are similar to yours in that I'm very used to being inside using a computer, and I'm used to a very different lifestyle to one that involves being on a farm. But yeah, I've never had a long period of time where I've stayed on a farm like you, so yeah, maybe it's a bit different for me.
Topic 8. Kiwi Adventure.
So Monica, you are from New Zealand.
Yes, that's right.
So for people going to New Zealand, what would you recommend? What are 3 or 4 places that you must see in New Zealand?
Oh, okay. 3 or 4 places you must see. Well, depends what you're looking for, really. I think a lot of people that come to New Zealand enjoy an outdoor lifestyle, so there's lots of outdoor activities and places you can go to enjoy in New Zealand. Personally, I find the South Island of New Zealand very scenic in comparison to the North Island. So for me, a must-do is the west coast of the South Island. It's very pretty.
The west coast?
Yeah. In particular, there's 2 glaciers, Franz Joseph and Fox glaciers, which are very stunning to look at. And you can either have a look at them by foot, or you can pay for a helicopter ride that takes you up and shows you an aerial view of them.
Now, do people ever walk across the glaciers?
There are guides that can walk you across. Yeah, I haven't done it personally, but it is possible.
So what else would you recommend for New Zealand? What other places should people see?
I think if you want to see, let me think, rural New Zealand, it's quite a nice idea to drive the length of the country, and then you can see the interesting farming that has taken place, in particular in the South Island, the lower part of the South Island, and a lot of the North Island as well. There's a lot of sheep in New Zealand, and there's a lot of cattle as well. So I think it is always interesting to go for a drive and to see that firsthand.
So you just start up in Auckland in the north and drive all the way down south?
Yeah, well, there's many ways you can do it, but I recommend one way of doing it is to arrive in Auckland and to have an experience of a big city, well, a big city for New Zealand, and then drive down the centre of the North Island and maybe have a farming experience somewhere. There's a lot of farm stay opportunities available for tourists who come to New Zealand. So depending on how you do it, you might want to stay 2 or 3 days with a family and experience a farming lifestyle. So that's, one thing I'd recommend. And another is to maybe go to a city like Rotorua, which is really in the centre of the North Island, and experience Māori culture. There's a Māori village there near the Whakarewarewa forest, which hosts a lot of tourists, and you get to experience Māori waiata, which is Māori songs, and you get to see the hot springs in New Zealand and thermal mud pools. Rotorua is a nice city to go and visit. And then work your way down to the capital of New Zealand, which is Wellington. And I think if you want to experience the cafe lifestyle of New Zealand, that's a good place to go.
Topic 9. Long life.
So, Monica, a minute ago we were talking about Tai Chi and about how it helps longevity, helps you live a long life. One time when I was in Bangkok, I met a guy, and he was doing Tai Chi, and he looked really young, but he said the secret to his old life, he said the secret to looking young was Tai Chi and cold showers. He took a cold shower every morning.
Wow.
Could you do that?
No, I don't think I could, actually.
Yeah, I actually tried it for a while. I tried it for about a week, and I did feel so energized. And it was easy in Bangkok, so it's really warm. But I couldn't keep it up, especially now that I'm in a cold climate. There's no way.
Yeah, I remember when I was young, my mother used to teach me to splash my face with cold water in the morning because she believed that helped wake you up. And I remember as a child not liking that at all because I just found it too cold.
Right.
So I preferred to splash my face with warm water.
So have you heard of any other secrets to having a long life?
Yeah, I've heard of quite a few different secrets to having a long life. I guess one secret that a lot of different cultural groups seem to share is diet. If you take the Japanese as an example, and Japanese people do have a long life expectancy in comparison to other people from other countries. I think the Japanese eat a diet that's quite low in fat and reasonably low in salt as well. And I think their fluid intake is quite healthy. Because they drink a lot of green tea, which has antioxidants in it, and they drink a lot of miso soup, which has a lot of vegetables in it and is made from fermented barley. So I think that's very healthy.
I've also heard that people in the Mediterranean, they also often have a long lifespan in certain regions, and maybe the combination of wine, just a little wine, not too much, but wine and olive oil, and then a lot of fish, seafood, is also maybe beneficial to a long life.
Yeah, that's true. I've heard French people, for example, live a long life, and that has often been said due to a glass of red wine a day. And I know people think differently about alcohol and its effect on the body these days.
Right.
Yeah, because alcohol used to be considered quite a bad thing and discouraged in all forms, but now people tend to think that a glass a day is actually quite beneficial to your health.
I've also actually heard that that people that laugh a lot tend to live longer.
Yeah, I've heard that too, actually, because laughing releases natural endorphins, and I think that helps you physiologically, and also I think psychologically you're happier if you're laughing. So, yeah, I think that long life is related to how you're feeling, and I think a lot of it's psychological as well as physical, for example, how much you're eating and what types of food you're eating.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of in the same boat, but I just don't know if I laugh that much. Maybe I'm in trouble.
Topic 10. Tai Chi.
So, Monica, you do Tai Chi.
Yes, I've just joined the Tai Chi club.
What made you join the Tai Chi club?
Well, I wanted to do something that was a lot different to what I usually do, which is high-impact sports like basketball and tennis.
So you wanted to do something that was slower?
Yeah, well, I don't usually enjoy exercise that is quite slow, such as yoga, but I decided to join this club and I'm really enjoying it.
So what exactly is Tai Chi? What do you do in Tai Chi?
Well, there are different types of Tai Chi. There's the original Tai Chi, which involves quite quick, fast movements. And then there's a slower form of Tai Chi, which is quite popular in Japan. I think it's called Mr. Young Tai Chi. And that involves very slow, pronounced movements. And that's the Tai Chi that I'm doing.
How do you feel like after you do Tai Chi? Do you feel tired? Do you feel energetic?
After I've done Tai Chi, I feel quite energetic, actually. I don't really feel tired because I haven't had a really hard workout. But I feel that my mind is very relaxed and very focused, and I'm very motivated to do whatever I need to do for the rest of the day.
Now, you actually are a tennis coach, so you teach sports. Would you recommend Tai Chi for other athletes?
Yeah, I do recommend Tai Chi for other athletes. It's quite difficult to know exactly how you would benefit from Tai Chi and how it can directly relate to a specific sport. But I've heard that it works on your energy levels and focuses your mind so that everything's in balance. And I think that can help any kind of sport because even in a sport like tennis, it's important to have balance when you're hitting the ball, when you're volleying, when you're getting ready for a smash. It actually involves having balance in terms of where your center of gravity is. So yeah, the concepts are similar.
Topic 11. The breakup.
Hey, George. Actually, it's really, it's funny that you mentioned relationships because I'm actually having a problem with Joe.
Is that the guy with the curly hair?
Yeah, that guy.
Oh.
He's really nice and everything, but, I really don't think it's working out.
Why? What's wrong?
Well, he's really narrow-minded, and I'm really different. He's nice and everything. He's kind and sweet, and it's just not for me. We're totally different people.
I see.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
I think I have to rip the Band-Aid, and I think I'm just going to send him an email or something.
An email? But you've been dating for a while now, and you like him, right?
Yeah, we're so sweet together, but it's just,
I mean,
I don't see a future.
But isn't an email just a little too cold and
Yeah.
He might tell other people about it. I mean, rumors spreading and whatnot.
Okay, then what do you think I should do? How should I do it?
Well, you should probably just, meet him face to face and...
Oh, face to
You know?
face. Okay. Where should I meet him? Like, do you think I should just invite him over to my place?
Nah. You should probably do it in public where,
Oh, good. I think that's
I don't know,
better.
maybe that cafe.
Oh, that cafe, yeah.
Well, while I'm having my date, you could be breaking up with your boyfriend. It'll be great.
You're so mean.
I'm sorry, that was uncalled for.
I don't know what to say. What do you think would hurt him less?
I gotta say, honesty would be the best policy.
Honesty. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
this is what I'm gonna say. Joe, you're great,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not meant to be.
I
How's
see.
that?
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Okay, so okay, I'm done. I think I'll meet him at the cafe, and okay, things will work from then. I'll improvise.
Great.
Topic 12. Class crush.
Hey, Crystal, I need some advice here.
What's up, George?
So, there's this, redheaded girl in class, and I kind of got a crush on her, but...
Ooh.
But, yeah, I don't know, how to ask her out. I don't even know if she knows my name, but yeah.
Oh, come on.
You got any advice?
I would personally just be natural and just go straight forward.
Go straight forward
And ask her out.
How I do that?
I don't know. For my personal advice, I think you should just go straight forward and say, "Hi, my name is George," and give her an appearance.
Hold on, I'm going to write this down.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and next step is if you are free, no, you always have to check if she's either married or if she's a lesbian or if she is single.
Okay.
So number 3 is what you're looking for.
Okay, number 3.
So if she's single, just say, "Hey, how about we go out for a cup of coffee or something?" And
Coffee.
And yeah, that's how you get her.
So yeah, what if she doesn't like coffee though? I mean, what else could we do on a date? Assuming she will say yes. Yeah, what's fun to do on a date anyway?
Fun to go do on a date is just the fact that you're being with her and just try to get her to know her more.
Hey, wait 1 sec. Do I need to pay for this or?
I don't think you should pay on the first date. I think sometimes that can be offensive to women.
Oh, that's great, because I'm totally broke.
I think you should just ask her casually, not like a date. Just say, "Hey, I would like to know you a little bit more," and just go out for a small little drink. Like, go to that new cafe that's open. Like a lot of girls think that place is so cute. I think you should take her there.
But I think cafes are boring.
Cafes are boring. Men! Women don't think so.
Oh.
This is the point.
Okay.
Write it down.
All right.